Hello, everyone. A very warm welcome to all my SSC Class 10 students joining our digital smart classroom today. I am so glad to have you here with me. Let's jump right in, shall we? Today, we are exploring the theme of Victorian hardship through a very special, focused vocabulary study of the classic novel Oliver Twist. Here is a quick look at our agenda for today. 1. Welcome to the lesson. 2. Poverty and extreme hunger. 3. Shock and despair. 4. Exhaustion and fear. And finally, 5. Final vocabulary review.
Okay, Section 1. Welcome to the lesson.
So this lesson was carefully prepared by Vinayadhar Raju, and it's all about diving deep into the vocabulary of Oliver Twist. You know, studying these specific words isn't just about memorizing definitions for your board exams, it's actually a complete game changer for your reading comprehension, especially when you're dealing with older historical texts. It really paints a vivid, heartbreaking picture of the harsh realities of the Victorian era.
Moving on to Section 2, Poverty and Extreme Hunger. Get your notebooks ready, students. Our first word is surly. Listen closely and pronounce it with me. Surly. The English meaning is serious or angry. For synonyms, think of words like grumpy, unfriendly, and sullen. The antonyms, of course, would be the exact opposite: friendly, cheerful, and pleasant. If we look at the derivatives, we have the noun surliness and the adverb surlily. Let's look at the example sentence from the text. So you'll begin to pick oakum tomorrow morning, added the surly one. Now in Telugu, the meaning is kopanto kudina. This simply means being filled with anger. So looking back at our example, added the surly one means the person spoke to young Oliver with a completely angry and harsh attitude.
Our next word is gruel. Let's pronounce it carefully together. Gruel. The English definition is a thin, liquid food made of oats or rice. Now, because it's a very specific food item, it doesn't really have direct antonyms or many derivatives, but some good synonyms are porridge, broth, and mush. Here's our example. Issued 3 meals of thin gruel a day with an onion twice a week. In Telugu, we call this ganji or java, basically a watery rice soup. So when the example says they were issued 3 meals of thin gruel, it means the poor children were forced to survive on just a few bowls of this watery ganji every single day. Imagine that. Moving right along to devoured. Repeat after me. Devoured. The English meaning is to have eaten hungrily or very quickly. Synonyms are consumed, swallowed, or gobbled. The antonyms would be nibbled, picked at, or fasted. For derivatives, we have the root verb devour and the adjective devouring. Check out this example sentence. As if they could have devoured the big bowl itself. In Telugu, this action is abaga teneshadu, eating with immense, greedy hunger. So our example means the boys were so incredibly starved, they ate their food so fast, it was as if they would abaga teneshadu, or completely eat up the actual bowl itself. Our next word takes that hunger to a whole new level. Voracious. Say it out loud with me. Voracious. It means wanting great quantities of food. Synonyms are insatiable, greedy, and ravenous. Antonyms are satisfied, full, or quenched. Notice the word forms here. We have the noun, veracity, and the adverb, voraciously. The example is, at last they got so voracious and wild with hunger. The Telugu meaning is, viparitamana akaligala, which means extraordinary, extreme hunger. In our example, the boys literally became wild because of this viparitamana akali. Students, make a note of this one. It is a fantastic, high-level vocabulary word to use in your English essays when describing extreme hunger. All right, Section 3, shock and despair. Our next word is stupefied. Let's say it together. Stupefied. This means being shocked to the point of being unable to think. Synonyms include astonished, stunned, and dumbfounded. Antonyms would be unsurprised, expected, or aware. It can also be used as a verb, stupefy, or a noun, stupefaction. Our example sentence is, he gazed in stupefied astonishment on the small rubble. In Telugu, this kind of profound shock is dibrandi chendina. So gazing in stupefied astonishment at the small rebel means staring at him while being completely dibranti chendina, totally unable to process what just happened. Building on that exact feeling, our next word is paralyzed. Paralyzed. This means became completely motionless. The English synonyms are immobilized, frozen, or halted. Antonyms are mobilized, active, or moving. For derivatives, we have the verb paralyze and the noun paralysis. The example highlights this beautifully. The assistants were paralyzed with wonder, the boys with fear. In Telugu, this state is stumpini poina. Our example means the assistants were stumbini poina, frozen like statues, with wonder, while the boys were frozen with absolute fear.
Next up is countenance. Countenance. It simply refers to a person's face or facial expression. Because it's a physical trait, it doesn't really have direct antonyms. Synonyms are face, expression, or features. The verb form is countenanced. Look at this example. Horror was depicted on every countenance. The clear Telugu meaning here is muka kavalikalu. So, saying horror was depicted on every countenance simply means that absolute terror was completely visible on everyone's muka kavalikalu, or facial expressions. Our next word is desperate. Desperate. This is the feeling of a hopeless sense that a situation is impossible. Synonyms are frantic, hopeless, and anguished. Antonyms are hopeful, optimistic, or secure. You can use the noun form desperation or the adverb desperately. Let's read the example. Child as he was desperate with hunger. The accurate Telugu translation is Tivramaina nirashatho kurina. Our example shows that the child was filled with Tivramaina nirashatho kurina, a state of complete and utter hopelessness, just from sheer hunger.
This brings us to a very grim but important word, starvation. Starvation, it means suffering or death caused by extreme hunger. Synonyms are malnutrition, famine, or undernourishment. Antonyms would be plenty, abundance, or overeating. The derivatives are the verb starve and the adjective starving. The example sentence is, Oliver Twist and his companions suffered the tortures of slow starvation. In Telugu, this terrible condition is akalito maratam or pustules. So when we say Oliver and his companions suffered the tortures of slow starvation, it means they were slowly dying from pustule, the severe, agonizing lack of food.
Let's move to section 4, exhaustion and fear. The word is weary. Weary. It means being tired and having lost all strength. Synonyms are exhausted, drained, and fatigued. Antonyms are energetic, refreshed, or lively. We have the noun form weariness and the adverb wearily. The text example says, For oh, say the children, we are weary. The Telugu meaning is alasi poina. So when the children say we are weary, they are literally crying out that they are completely alasi poina, drained of every last drop of their physical strength. Our next word offers a slight change of scenery, meadows. Meadows. This refers to land that is heavily covered with grass. Synonyms are fields, pastures, or grasslands. Antonyms would be deserts, wastelands, or cityscapes. The adjective form is meadowy. Our example reads, If we cared for any meadows, it were merely to drop down in them and sleep. In Telugu, we call these lovely green spaces patchika bayalu, but in the example, they merely wanted to drop down into these patchika bayalu to sleep out of sheer exhaustion, not to play. In that exact same sentence, we saw the word merely. Merely. It means only or simply. Synonyms are simply, purely, or solely. Antonyms are wholly, fully, or completely. The adjective form is mere. Let's look at the example again. It were merely to drop down in them and sleep. The Telugu meaning is very straightforward, kevalam. So when they wanted merely to sleep, it means they wanted kevalam, only, to sleep. Absolutely nothing else. Next is pale. Pale. This means not bright or light in color or lacking healthy skin color. Synonyms include faded, washed out, ashen, or white. Antonyms are bright, colorful, flushed, or radiant. We have the noun paleness and the adverb palely. The example is, beautiful but sad. The reddest flower would look as pale as snow. In Telugu, this is polypoina. The example means that even the reddest, brightest flower would look polypoina, completely white and drained of all its vibrant color, just like snow. Our final vocabulary word for today is tremble. Tremble. It means to shake involuntarily out of fear, cold, or weakness. Synonyms are shake, shiver, shudder, or quiver. Antonyms are steady, calm, or stabilize. Derivatives include the adjective trembling and the past tense verb trembled. The example sentence states, Our knees tremble sorely in the stooping. The Telugu meaning is vanakaram. When the example says our knees tremble, it means their knees were literally vanakaram, shaking uncontrollably from physical weakness. All right, Section 5, Final Vocabulary Review.
Congratulations on making it to the review. Now here is a quick challenge for you to actively practice what we just learned. Grab your pen and paper, students. Can you write a short paragraph using at least 3 of the new Victorian hardship words we covered today? Try combining voracious, gruel, and countenance into a short little story. Give it a try. Mastering these words gives you a much deeper understanding of literature and human history, while perfectly preparing you for your exams. A big thank you to all of you for your amazing focus today. And remember, this fantastic lesson was prepared by Vinayadhar Raju for vocabulary development and mind maps. I wish you the absolute best in your English studies. Keep practicing those paragraphs and let's see what new vocabulary words you'll discover next.